Alright, man, welcome back to another Patrickcc reaction. Today we got Dave Chappelle Will Never Stop. Now, I have no idea what this video is about, but as someone who loves Dave Chappelle, I'm pretty excited for this one, man. Like always, let's not waste any time, though, and just get right into this one, man.
Comedians will make you laugh. The best comedians will... Good comedians will make you laugh.
True.
The best comedians will make you laugh at things you are not supposed to laugh at. Iconic comedians will transcend the punchlines, challenge societal norms.
I'm someone who loves stand-up comedy, too. I love Segura, I love fucking Theo Vaughn, even some of the little guys. I can't remember their name right now, but... dude, I fucking love stand-up comedy, man.
Established boundaries and continue to share their thoughts despite an uproar of negative criticism. Dave Chappelle is an iconic comedian, but he did not get there easily. There have been numerous attempts to silence Dave, whether it was a heckler,
the absolute fucking legend himself, the GOAT,
angry journalist, or a multi-billion-dollar organization. Dave was never willing to compromise his integrity. Not for one man, not for $1. His big break in Hollywood was when Universal Pictures bought a movie Dave and Neil Brennan wrote called Half-Baked. It's a silly stoner comedy reminiscent of Jay and Silent Bob that wasn't a huge hit, but the movie did gross $17 million against a $7 million budget and has become a cult classic since. 24-year-old Dave wasn't fully happy with the way the film came out, but he was extremely proud to have his movie on the big screen at such a young age. From there, he started pitching a television show to various networks. Fox was interested, but they worried the show casted too many black people. More specifically, they thought the female star of the show wasn't funny and they wanted Dave to recast her to a white actress. Dave simply denied, because this particular sitcom was based on his life, and he grew up in an all-black household. A few days after that meeting, Variety posted an article that claimed he was playing the race card. Dave said, "This network built itself on black viewers, and what they're saying is white people are narcissistic. They don't want to watch black people. They want to watch themselves. It tells every black artist no matter what you do, you need whites to succeed." Fox claimed...
It's so crazy to see, like, how far we've come, you know what I'm saying? Because now it almost seems like it's the opposite nowadays, you know what I'm saying? Now you almost have to have a minority of some kind, whether it's, you know, whatever race they are or whatever the fuck it is. You have to have some sort of minority in every movie or else it doesn't. It's not like it doesn't work, but they feel like they have to have it in there, you know what I'm saying?
They were making a light suggestion to add a different perspective, a point of view that allows a larger audience to appreciate it. Most young people in the industry would just accept the request of a major corporation, but Dave was unashamed of his decision and was willing to tell the world exactly how he felt. "I felt like I was beaten up and completely degraded," he said. "It's disgusting, and it made me want to vomit." It pretty much took Dave one bad experience to know this whole Hollywood thing is overrated. To make matters worse, his father was on his deathbed. While traveling back and forth from LA to Ohio, he realized how much he loved the small town of Yellow Springs. He describes it as something so real in contrast to Hollywood's powerful illusion. Dave purchased a farm out in the town with 3,000 people because he can focus on his family and friends. He can have real, genuine interactions with people who aren't trying to gain something from him. Sadly, his father passed away at the young age of 59. William David Chappelle III was a veteran, college professor, and an organizer in the civil rights movement in Ohio. Although young Dave lost the man he would go to for all of his advice, he knew that his father would want him to stand up and speak out for what he thought was right. Dave was not going to let anyone walk all over him, because Comedy Central...
Dude, already, we're 2 minutes in, and already I'm absolutely blown away and astonished by how good this fucking video is, dude. Patrickcc always seems to one-up himself, man. I swear to God. Every video, he just steps it up another fucking notch, man. God, this is so good.
Was about to try their best at controlling him. Dave was convinced that after his father had passed, he was done with the show business, and he was just going to do stand-up. His first hour-long comedy special, Killing Them Softly, released on HBO, and many consider this to be one of the best stand-up specials of all time.
Yes,
People knew Dave was a generational talent. He knew it. He could not give up on his dream. He started writing a variety show with various skits and sketches that were personal and relatable to the common man. He knew he had something big, and after a few years in 2003, he decided to pitch a new show titled The Chappelle Show. which got picked up by Comedy Central for 2 seasons. The Chappelle Show is regarded by many as the greatest sketch comedy show in history. Dave would open the show performing stand-up to a lot.
I've never seen this. I've actually never seen the Chappelle Show. I've heard about it so much, never watched it, man. I need to go give it a watch.
Live audience and then shift the joke into a pre-recorded sketch. All of his bits were rooted in a great deal of irony, basically conveying the exact opposite of what you would expect. Like this employee training video that teaches you exactly how to get fired.
Getting to work.
First of all, never show up on time.
He created characters that would earn die-hard fan bases, like Tyrone Biggums, who was, well, pretty much just a crackhead, or Clayton Bigsby, the world's only black-white supremacist. Due to his blindness, he didn't know that he was actually black. Sometimes his characters were just over-exaggerated.
That's a great concept, man. Wow, that's such a good concept.
Versions of real people, like Lil Jon or Rick James.
What the hell is that?
James. Enjoy yourself.
Yo, who the fuck is Rick James?
Edgy isn't even a good enough word to describe Dave's humor. He was way over the edge with some of these bits. The most shocking of them all was perhaps the Hard R family, a rich suburban white family whose last name is the racial slur.
Morning, niggas. Why, it's custard, our colored milk man. And it's my favorite family to deliver milk.
Bro, oh my fucking god, what is this concept, bro? Holy shit. Alright, let's go back.
Suburban white family whose last name is the racial slur.
What the fuck is... What is this concept?
And it's my favorite family to deliver milk to. The niggas.
The very first episode of Chappelle Show tackled an extremely risky subject, basically becoming a mission statement for the program. If you don't like this, you won't like anything else. Something like the Chappelle Show will never air on TV ever again, but at the time,
I need to go back and watch it.
Loved it. Now, even in 2004, the mainstream media was against
it.
shocking, vulgar, and risky entertainment, but they had a little tolerance. The solution back then...
See, this is what I don't know about it. 2004? Dog, I was 4 years old. I was just a little guy.
Was put it on after hours, like after 9 p.m. when the kids are asleep.
Oh my god, that's so classic. That's what shows used to do back then, is be like, you know, we can put it on, but we have to put it on after hours. You have to put it on late, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, what the fuck?
The Chappelle Show averaged 3.1 million viewers per episode in 2004, just shy of Saturday Night Live's 3.7 million.
Damn.
However, Dave's impact on culture at that time far exceeded SNL. He was a superstar comedian at a time where comedy was missing superstars. Dave's show saved Comedy Central from failing and made them a ton of money. Chappelle Show Season 2 Uncensored has broken both the first day and 7-day sales records for TV on DVD, with close to 500,000 units sold on its May 24th release date and more than 1.2 million units sold in its first week out in the market. Chappelle Show Season 1 Uncensored, released last year, is the best-selling TV on DVD title with close to 3 million copies sold. Because of the first two seasons' undeniable success, Comedy Central offered Dave a whopping $50 million for a new season.
Damn!
Instead,
he declined?
He walked away.
Yeah.
Like many people who are new to the entertainment industry, Dave signed a contract that he didn't fully understand. Of course he hired a lawyer, but ultimately he knew this show was great for his career and he would make good money. What could possibly go wrong? Dave says he never got paid for the Chappelle Show because the contract said comedy...
That's absolutely egregious, bro. He never got paid? Are you fucking kidding me? Wow. That's just insane, bro. That blows my fucking mind, honestly.
Central didn't have to pay him. This contract also said that they have the exclusive right to use the name and likeness of the artist in perpetuity throughout the universe in any and all media known or invented in the future. On top of them literally owning him, Dave just straight up didn't like the fame and attention. He just liked comedy. But even that was getting ruined. One night while he was performing in Sacramento, California, he walked off the stage after berating his audience for constantly shouting, "I'm Rick James, bitch," which had become a catchphrase from the popular Rick James sketch on his show. Stand-up is the most important thing I do, and because I'm on TV, you make it hard for me to do it. he said. The show is ruining my life, Chappelle told the crowd. Besides requiring him to work 20 hours a day, it has made him a star, which has resulted in the inability of fans to treat him as an individual. So when Comedy Central offered him $50 million, it came with stipulations.
Yeah, that 50 mil, he saw that and he's like, nah, this is just gonna 10x what I'm already going through. There's no world where I do that.
He had to get approvals on certain jokes. He didn't have full creative control, and they worked him like a dog. It wasn't worth the money. So one day, he just walked off set and moved to South Africa, desperate to get as far away from Hollywood.
What the fuck? He just bounced out to fucking South Africa? No shot.
As possible. In response, Comedy Central ran a smear campaign on him, saying that he was crazy and on drugs. In May 2005, Comedy Central began promoting the anticipated...
They're all saying that the character that does crack isn't really a character. It's like, bro, just fucking relax. Get out of here, bozo.
Debut of Chappelle's Show Season 3. One day later, the channel announced that the production on the show had been unexpectedly suspended. Then 1 week later, every news outlet reported that Chappelle had checked into a mental health facility in South Africa, perpetuating the narrative that he was mentally unstable. Some reports said he was even smoking crack.
I was freaked out, man, with the fame thing and being called crazy and drug addict and all these things. Scared me. You know, just being treated that way. Like I'm not a person anymore. You say this shit about me in front of my children. And who the f do these people think they are? And they don't know what happened, you know.
Dude, I love Dave Chappelle so much, man. Holy fuck. Just listening to him talk right there is just...
Dave's exit from the $50 million deal was one of the most profound statements in pop culture history. He was already mega famous, but ironically, this exit made him even more famous. One 2006 article said, these days...
That's what happens, dude. That's also what happens with, like, when people get banned and stuff. A lot of people don't realize when you get banned from something... The best drama is the bad drama. The stuff that gets clicks and stuff that's like, oh my god, what the fuck is this? So when you get banned, that's bad drama. A lot of people are gonna look at that and fucking click that, and it's just gonna, you know, make you blow up even better. So that's why a lot of streamers actually, they talk about the best thing that ever happened to their career was when they got banned. Literally. Because it just fucking 10x's. Everyone's like, oh, who got banned? Oh, what did they do? And then a lot of people figure out who the fuck they are.
If Dave Chappelle merely catches a cold, it winds up in the media or on the internet. He fired back, saying he was not on drugs and he was not crazy. In fact, he was the most level-headed person out there, denying money for his sanity. I'm not in a mental facility. Everyone around me says, you're a genius, you're great, that's your voice. But I'm not sure they're right. You hear so many voices jockeying for position in your mind that you want to make sure you hear your own voice. So I figured, let me just cut myself off from everybody. Take a minute and pull a Flintstone.
That makes
sense.
Stop a
speeding car by using my bare feet as the brakes. Hollywood just couldn't fathom that someone who became famous would choose to abandon that lifestyle. He did make a short reappearance at the 48th Grammy Awards where he received a standing ovation. Right in front of the entire industry, Dave told them how he didn't want to be there.
The only thing harder than leaving show business is coming back.
Later
to this, holy shit.
That evening, he went to an after-party held at the home of the legendary artist Prince. Instead of talking to Mariah Carey, Common, or industry powerhouses, he sat in a chair on the back patio, only conversing with people who wanted to. He looks like he is hiding from his peers, hiding from the attention,
nice, I like
hiding
that.
from the part of himself that is a major star. Dave said, "This ain't really my thing." After that night, Dave realized it was time to disappear, and he did just that. And nobody really heard from him for many years.
What did you do for those 10 years?
It was a humble existence. I had young children. I was raising my kids. I was living a suburban life. And then every once in a while, I get this feeling like I'm the funniest guy. I got to get out there. And I would like fly to Denver, do a week in Denver or something. And that's when he would read. I was doing like these 6-hour shows. I performed like I was desperate for it. I loved it.
Yeah.
He rode across the country on a motorcycle, focused on raising his children, maintained good standing relationships with his friends. He lived an extremely normal life, just like me and most of you watching this video. Dave would only make selective appearances from 2005 to 2016. He had a few random stand-up performances here and there. One of them even broke a world record, a 6-hour and 7-minute set at the...
That's good. It literally sounds sick. Let me just say too, 6 hours and 7 minutes is fucking insane. He's just up there going through everything, bro. But, him stepping... I can't remember what I was going to say. I was going to say something about him stepping back, but I forgot it. This whole 6-hour, 7-minute set kind of threw me off a little bit.
Laugh Factory became the longest comedic performance in history. He performed at the Oddball Comedy Tour in 2013, doing large arenas around the country. In Hartford, Connecticut, he was booed and heckled during his entire set.
This is the most egregious. This pisses me the fuck off. This is the most egregious thing I've ever seen in my life. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Fuck everyone in here that's booing. They can all just go suck a massive fucking cock, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Until he left the stage saying this crowd was the worst one he had seen in his whole life. This bomb made Dave realize he was rusty, and he needed to get back to being funny again. So in 2014, he made a grand comeback by...
I don't give a fuck what you say. Dave will always be funny. Always be one of the funniest men in the entire history of the planet. I don't give a fuck what you say, bitch.
Headlining 10 nights at New York City's iconic Radio City Music Hall. The buzz surrounding his return grew as he was interviewed on various late-night talk shows. Dave rocked the sold-out crowds every single night, selling over 60,000 tickets in total.
Fallon?
These unforgettable shows marked his official return to the spotlight after his prolonged absence. Dave achieved a legendary status just from his Comedy Central show and one stand-up special. The comedy community as a whole was honored to have him back. He hosted Saturday Night Live during election weekend when Trump won in 2016.
Donald Trump, he did it. He's our president. I feel bad saying it. I'm staying in a Trump hotel right now. I don't know if he's gonna make a good.
Dude, I just honestly, I just need to do like stand-up comedy reactions. Look, you just fucking sit here, smoke, and laugh for 15 minutes.
President, but he makes a swell hotel suite. I'm gonna tell you that. Housekeeping comes in the morning, cleans my room, and I just, hey, good morning, housekeeping. Grab a big handful of pussy, say, you know. Boss said it was okay.
Bruh, Jesus
Citizens feared that the new president was going to destroy this country. Dave was skeptical, but ended his monologue with this message.
I'm wishing Donald Trump luck, and I'm going to give him a chance, and we, the historically disenfranchised, demand that he give us one too. Thank you very much.
Netflix announced that they would be hosting Dave for 3 specials, in which he would be receiving $20 million for each one. In a way, this can be seen as making...
Jesus! I did not hear about that. Hey, deserved, brother. That's fucking deserved.
Up for the trouble he went through with Comedy Central. The Age of Spin was released on Netflix in 2017 and was met with good reviews.
I don't think I listened to that one. I actually don't think I've watched that one.
Months later, while headlining at Radio City Music Hall, he made multiple jokes about the transgender community. One in specific talks about...
Of course I know this.
Trump banning trans people from serving in the U.S. military, in which Dave pokes fun and says that ISIS would be horrified to see trans women storming at them. Chappelle says he doesn't understand trans people, but doesn't think that disqualifies them from being a human being that deserves a life with dignity and happiness and respect. He ended by arguing that sometimes he thinks the only reason all of us are talking about transgenders is because white men want to do it. If it was just black people and Mexicans like, hey y'all, we feel like girls inside, they'd be like, shut up, no one asked you how you felt.
Bitch.
Dave received a lot of
Holy shit, dude.
criticism, with many citing that it doesn't matter he is joking because they are rooted in bigotry and overgeneralizations.
Yeah, you guys need to be idiots, dude. It's stand-up comedy. Shut the fuck up and laugh or get out, bitch. Like,
joke about a topic
that's how I
he
feel
is
about that.
uneducated on. This back and forth just perpetuated more jokes and commentary from Dave. It became a bulk of his material.
You know who hates
this shit is great.
The transgender community.
Despite the controversy, his comeback was receiving all the praise.
I want him to go into the
Chappelle
one
received
about
a
his friend.
Grammy Award for Best Comedy Album for his first 2 specials, The Age of Spin and Deep in the Heart of Texas. And later that year would go on to receive an Emmy Award and another Grammy for Outstanding Variety Special for Equanimity. He also won the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. But it was in 2019 where the backlash reached new heights. Sticks and Stones released on Netflix in 2019, and Dave didn't hold back on
this. This is the one I watched.
Me Too, gun control, opioid crisis, cancel culture, and of course the transgender community. He covered every hot button topic in one
this
special.
One is a classic.
Sticks and Stones marks a shift. This performance felt way more like a piece of social commentary rather than stand-up comedy, at least in the first half. Now I think this goes without saying, but comedy is extremely nuanced. Cherry-picking clips and bits can often remove the necessary context that sells a joke. NBC said that today's context...
I'm glad that Patrick said it, though, because a lot of people probably don't really realize that. But that's fucking obvious as fuck, man. Like, if I'm just sitting here talking, and you take the back half of what I say, How the fuck are you gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about when I mention what I'm talking about in the beginning of the sentence? You won't, because you don't have the context, the you know what I'm saying? So, that's obvious, but I'm still glad he said it, because a lot of people don't fucking realize that.
Free Twitter culture is preventing Dave from thriving. You're either fighting President Donald Trump or you're a MAGA apologist. You're either believe all women or you're anti-Me Too. And that black and white world is not one.
You are either doing all that or you're just me, dog. I'm just chilling, you know what I'm saying? I'm just here trying to watch this video.
In which Dave Chappelle has ever operated, particularly now. Many people read headlines and tweets, then form opinions without actually digesting the material. However, even those who did fully digest the special still were not impressed. Sticks and Stones registers as a temper tantrum, the product of a man who wants it all. Money, fame, influence, without much having to answer to anyone.
Yeah,
Forbes
like a dumbass.
with Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones tries too hard to offend. Comedians have always made jokes about current societal standards and political climates. Discussing societal issues mixed in with quips and bits make their performances relatable, but not too serious. Dave and many people in defense of comedy argue that nothing is off limits when it comes to jokes, but opposers pick and choose what...
Yeah, no, 100% I agree with that. Nothing is off limits when it comes to jokes, because the second you start putting limits on things, saying, oh no, you can't talk about that, that's like, it's like the floodgates. You have to keep the gates closed, because the second you let the gates open just a little bit, people are gonna seep through, and things are gonna seep through, and the floodgates are gonna open, and then you're not gonna be able to talk about anything. So it's literally, you have to be able to talk about everything, or else you're not gonna be able to talk about anything. There's no gray line, there's no in the middle, you know what I'm saying? It's one or the other. And me personally, I'd like to be able to talk about everything rather than to not be able to speak at all.
What is allowed to be joked
obvious,
about.
Though. Again,
at this point, we're re-entering a familiar cycle. Chappelle releases a special on Netflix, he says something incendiary, it's quoted back to him in a headline, and Chappelle reacts to the criticism in another Netflix special. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing. A comedian is not absolved from criticism, and critics don't have to think someone is funny. This cycle is a product of free speech. And any sane human understands both sides are allowed and should speak their mind.
Obviously.
One person who knows that the most is...
And then me, after hearing the critics thing, because we're going by the same logic, I can speak my mind and say, your opinion's dog shit. That's just how it goes, man. Everyone can say whatever they want, man.
Dave Chappelle, who boycotted his own show because he felt like it. In 2020, Viacom, the owner of The Chappelle Show, licensed the show to Netflix and HBO Max without providing Dave with any compensation and without making him aware of the deal. He was aware that it was legal in the court of law, as it was stated in the contract he signed during the show's initial negotiations, but he saw the move as unethical. In a video released by Dave titled Unforgiven, he would ask his fans to boycott the show on HBO until he was paid, citing the ethical obligations of Viacom to pay him what he was owed. Since he had such a good relationship with Netflix, he was furious they did this to him because of how badly Comedy Central treated him.
So you know what I did? I called them and I told them that this makes me feel bad. And do you want to know what they did? They agreed that they would take it off their platform just so I could feel better. That's why I put Netflix.
Dave and his fans praised Netflix for removing the show based on his feelings, but they were shocked when members of the trans community tried to get Dave's special removed because he hurt their feelings. The closer was...
That's completely different, though, because it's not their art. You know what I'm saying? It's not their fucking art that... you know what I mean? Like, they're not the ones who put out the special. They're not, you know, they're not the head of the snake. Like, they're not even part of the snake. They're fucking some grass that the snake slithered by a year ago, dog. You know what I mean? And this one, the closer, is absolutely a classic too. I know this one. This one's a fucking banger.
It was his 2021 Netflix special where he again made jokes about trans people, as well as anti-gay jokes and defending TERFs. He stated in the...
So this one is the one where he talked about that trans friend that
special that gender is a fact. In the special's closing moments, he tells a story about his friend Daphne Dorman, who was a trans woman and stand-up comedian that defended Dave from criticism in his previous special Sticks and Stones. Punching down requires you to consider yourself superior to another group. Dave Chappelle doesn't consider himself better than me in any way. He isn't punching up or punching down. He's punching lines. That's his job, and he's a master of his craft.
Whew. Legendary fucking tweet, man. That's just... I don't like tweets, but even that bitch got some fucking... Whew. That's some class, dude.
Dave claimed that Daphne Dorman received so much hate from her own community that she died by suicide 6 days after the special. Right-wing media went into a frenzy saying the trans community are hypocrites and will destroy their own people. However, there is little evidence that supports Daphne's expiration has anything to do with hate.
Well, I mean, I'm not even gonna, honestly, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it.
Back in 2019, that tweet had just 12 replies. Another tweet supporting Chappelle had 9. The Instagram post in which she declared her friendship with Chappelle doesn't have any critical replies. Comments on her Facebook post announcing that she was opening for Chappelle are uniformly positive. So are the ones on Reddit after she posted about it there. She doesn't appear to have said anything on Twitter or Facebook about receiving abuse. Her suicide note doesn't mention bullying, nor do any of the obituaries written after her death. Because of this, many people thought Dave was using someone's death to his own benefit, and the trans community were tired of Dave. Netflix employees interpreted the closer as hate speech.
I'm trying to think, like, if someone was gonna send, like, a death threat, right? Would they do it under a post? Or would they just directly message that person? Because if they do it under a post, there's, like, the fact that they degrade themselves by saying it, rather than a DM feels a little less open. Well, it is a little less open. It's one-on-one, and the other person has to directly share it. So, I mean, I don't know. It was probably all, like, or mostly just DMs, right? I don't 100% know. I don't see Dave doing something like that, personally.
And 65 employees participated in a walkout in protest of the company. The protest garnered a lot of support online. However, it was generally unsuccessful because Netflix has stood behind Dave, kept his specials up, and continued to work with him in the future. Then things escalated to physical violence against Dave.
This guy got beat the fuck up. Dude, I love this clip. This guy getting beat the fuck up. Hold up, one sec. This guy runs up on Dave and gets knocked the fuck out, son.
Behind Dave, kept his specials
dragged off stage.
To work with him
That's what should happen, bro.
Then
don't step into their domain,
physical
homie.
Violence against Dave.
Make some noise for hip-hop history.
Beat that motherfucker's ass. Yeah, fuck him up.
Isaiah Lee was the name of the suspect who later admitted why he attacked the comedian.
I identify as bisexual, and I wanted him to know what he said was...
He got fucked up. Yo, rightfully so, dog. There's got to be a deterrent. You can't just attack this motherfucker.
Triggering. I wanted him to know that next time he should consider first running his material by people it could affect.
Isaiah Lee has also been charged with attempted murder after stabbing his roommate. In a last effort to take down Dave, a venue in Minneapolis...
Yo, what the fuck? We're just gonna skip over that? This motherfucker stabbed his... Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, why are we... The same person who attacked him is the same person who's gonna stab their roommate, bro. Like, what the fuck? You're crazy, dude. Get the fuck out of here, dog.
Canceled a sold-out show of his hours before the doors were set to open. We believe in diverse voices and the freedom of artistic expression, but in honoring that, we lost sight of the impact this would have. The event was moved to a smaller venue in the same city and sold out 2 shows back-to-back. It seemed like the more backlash Dave got, the more it would ultimately help his career. The closer was nominated for an Emmy for Outstanding Variety Special. To close out the year, Dave took the stage on SNL and delivered the show's opening monologue. And yes, he faced even more controversy. Recently, Kanye West had went on an anti-Semitic rant on social media, to which Dave responded,
I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on. I actually can't be anti-Semitic because actually... I mean... This hurts my brain. Like, reading this actually hurts my brain, man.
With
I denounce anti-Semitism in all its forms. And I stand with my friends in the Jewish community. And that, Kanye, is how you buy yourself some time. You know, the rules of perception. If they're black, then it's a gang. If they're Italian, it's a mob. But if they're Jewish, it's a coincidence, and you should never speak about it.
Despite Dave obviously disagreeing with Kanye, his jokes entertain the possibility that some of what Ye said holds an ounce of truth, which led to even more critics calling Dave anti-Semitic. He ended the monologue with a message.
Shut up, it's stand-up comedy.
About anything. It's making my job incredibly difficult. To be honest with you, I'm getting sick of talking to a crowd like this. I love you to death. And I thank you for your support. And I hope they don't take anything away from me. Whoever they are.
Some people think that Dave's legacy has been tainted by hardcore transphobia, or trying too hard to be controversial.
It's not tainted.
Even though his comedy has always toed the line as to what is socially acceptable. Dave has
I know Patrick's not saying that. He said some people, not exactly him. I disagree, man. It is what it is. He got pushed. People started pushing him. He's gonna push back. It is what it is, man.
Benefited greatly from free speech. He has gained hundreds of millions of dollars and die-hard fans around the world.
Sir.
So it's only fair if his opposition can also speak up and voice their opinions and disagreements with his performances.
Of course, they should be allowed to
silence Dave have been
and then we should be allowed to call them fucking retards. It's what it is, man.
Unsuccessful, because no matter what, he will always get right back on that stage and speak his mind.
Real and true, man. Yo, what an absolute fucking banger, like always, man. I love Patrickcc videos. Literally, I gotta watch this one too. The Keanu Reeves refused to sell his soul to Hollywood. I was supposed to react to that one. I completely spaced him in. Yo, hey, make sure to go subscribe to Patrickcc if you haven't already, yeah? Damn, what a banger, man. What a banger. Hey, yo, if you liked the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time, man. Deuces.